20 million people.
20 million illegal aliens in this country.
The last administration let in 20 million unknown and unvetted foreigners from all over the world, from places that you don't want to even know about.
So it's claimed that 20 million immigrants entered the US under Joe Biden's presidency. But how true is that? Let's find out. Since President Trump took office again in 2025, there's one word that's never far from his lips.
Biden.
The president has been massively critical of former President Joe Biden, calling him
Crooked Joe Biden.
and
Sleepy Joe Biden.
criticizing his tenure as president.
The worst president in the history of our country.
One of the key policy focuses of the Trump administration is, of course, immigration. And they've been radical in their policies, cutting refugee limits, expediting deportations, and using ICE and the National Guard to track down immigrants in the community. Throughout the various immigration operations, a lot of the blame as to why the problem is what it is currently is placed on Biden.
Joe Biden tried to approach it with kid gloves. That allowed him to come across the border, cartels take over community, 20 million people, hundreds of thousands of Americans poisoned. And President Trump said, no, we're taking the gloves off. We're taking the fight to these designated terror organizations, and that's exactly what we're doing. So we're stopping the drugs, we're striking the boats.
Several prominent Republicans in MAGA have claimed that as many as 20 million people entered the United States during the Biden administration.
The Biden administration, the Democrats have inflicted on this nation the worst national security threat in our history.
Trump and White House officials have announced that the administration is
Now re-examine every single alien who has entered our country from Afghanistan under Biden, and we must take all necessary measures to ensure the removal of any alien from any country who does not belong here or add benefit to our country.
And this was in response to the shooting in Washington, D.C., where 2 National Guard members were shot. This figure, 20 million, has circulated widely in political commentary and media reports for months, and it's prompted questions about the accuracy of the number, a number that Newsweek has repeatedly tried to pin down amid Trump and his allies' claims, but it remains elusive. Experts who study the data have told us so. One recent study by the non-partisan think tank Pew Research Center found that in 2023, the undocumented immigrant population in the United States reached 14 million. That's the highest level on record, and it's higher than the previous estimates of 11 million. The study also found that the number had begun to decline during Donald Trump's presidency as his administration implemented stricter immigration policies. Alex Nowrasteh is a senior VP for policy at the Cato Institute, a libertarian think tank, and he suggested the number was inflated. He wrote in a post, Vice President J.D. Vance and a collection of online conservative commentators have argued that, as president, Joe Biden let in 20 or 30 million illegal immigrants, swelling their population to 30 to 50 million. These numbers are an exaggeration, but there was a large increase in the illegal immigrant population during the Biden administration. The Migration Policy Institute, also non-partisan, told Newsweek in October that the figure in 2023 was likely around 13.7 million. Again, not 20 million. So why is the number quoted so high? It could be down to the term encounters, which is used by US Customs and Border Protection to record every instance when an individual is stopped, apprehended, or otherwise detected attempting to cross the border without authorization. But an encounter does not represent a successful entry into the United States. It's just reflected when authorities make contact with a person at or between official ports of entry. Encounters can lead to a range of outcomes. Some people are expelled or returned to Mexico, others are formally deported, and some individuals are placed into processing that may or may not result in a long-term stay within the US. The totals can also include repeat crossers who are counted multiple times, further inflating the overall number. Figures released in a statement by Homeland Security say that more than 2 million undocumented migrants have left the states in 2025, and that includes 1.6 million who self-deported and 527,000 who were formally removed. In January 2025, 53.3 million immigrants lived in the country, accounting for 15.8% of the population, according to Pew. But by June, departures and deportations outpaced new arrivals, reducing the immigrant population to 51.9 million, or 15.4% of all US residents. The claim that 20 million illegal immigrants entered the United States under Joe Biden is misleading. While border encounters have been high, encounters do not equal successful entry, and the total unauthorized population did not increase by 20 million during this period. The figure cited in the claim is not supported by publicly available data or independent analysis. One topic that has catalyzed more of the negative sentiment around Biden's presidency, especially in relation to immigration, is the shooting of the 2 National Guard members in Washington, D.C. Suspect 29-year-old Ramola Lacawal, who has been formally charged with murder after shooting and killing Sarah Breckstrom and shooting Andrew Wolf, who was left in a critical condition. DHS said the suspect entered the USA under an Afghan resettlement scheme, Operation Allies Welcome. It was launched in 2021 under Biden's administration, and it looked to resettle so-called vulnerable Afghans after the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan. Trump angrily responded to questions over blaming Biden for the attack.
Why do you blame the Biden administration?
Because they let them in. Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person? Because they came on a plane along with thousands of other people that shouldn't be here, and you're just asking questions because you're a stupid person.
The sentiment from the Trump administration is that Biden is to blame for immigration in the States. And at times, a lot of blame for murders or incidents related to immigrants in America is placed on the former president. This may be a little unfair, and while immigration numbers were at an elevated level under Biden, it doesn't tell the full story. Incidents like the tragic shootings in DC only serve to further the division between political parties and help push through political ideologies and agendas. So, we may be hearing a lot more of Biden's name in the coming months as the Trump administration continues its rigorous immigration plan.